Welcome. I'm Sherri Methvin, a realtor with Modern Abode Realty serving Edmond, Oklahoma and the greater Oklahoma City area. In this series, we're exploring the essential aspects of the home buying journey, offering practical advice to help you make informed and confident decisions. Buying a home is one of the most significant investments you'll make, and my goal is to ensure that the process feels both manageable and rewarding. Today, we're looking at the best part of the home buying process, the final walkthrough and the closing. Let's get started. So at this point, we've done all of the work for getting ready to buy the house. We've negotiated the contract, we've done the inspections, we've negotiated repairs, we've gotten with the lender, given them everything they need, we've gotten it clear to close from them, and also we've talked about the appraisal and gone through the appraisal process. So right now we're going to be talking about this thing called a final walkthrough. So what is a final walkthrough? Well, the reason we're doing a final walkthrough is just to make sure that one, all the repairs are completed, and two, just to make sure that the house is in the same condition it was when we looked at it or after the inspections were completed. So there are two kinds of walkthroughs. You can do two separate walkthroughs or you can do both of them in one. So one of them I call the repairs walkthrough. And what you're doing in this one, it's usually like 4 to 7 days before the closing on the home. You just go through and make sure that the seller's done all the repairs that they were supposed to. And what that does is if they haven't completed something to the buyer's satisfaction, then you can go back to the seller and say, hey, this isn't quite done right, so we need to get that done before we close. And that's the reason for the repairs walkthrough. Now, another kind of walkthrough is called the final walkthrough. And in the final walkthrough, we're just going to go through and make sure that the house, like I said, is like it was when we looked at it. You want to make sure and check for holes in the walls that you didn't know might have been there or something that might have happened when they moved out of the house. You want to check for functionality of the water heater and the HVAC system. And this is a point where the seller's moved out and you just want to make sure everything is as you expected it to be. So when we're talking about making sure that the repairs were completed, sometimes we might not know if there was something wrong with the heater or air conditioner that wasn't evident by the temperature in the house. It may just be that we have to get a receipt from the seller. So at this point, we'll have the receipts from the seller to show that the work was completed. Another way that you can verify that some of that work is complete is to hire your inspector to come back and check it again. This will actually cost you a little bit more money from the inspector, but it is a way to ensure that those repairs were completed. After the walkthrough is the closing. Now, what is a closing? That's when we go and sign all the paperwork. So the closing usually takes place at a title company. Oftentimes we'll try to schedule the closing at or near someplace convenient to the buyer, usually close to the home where they're purchasing it. It usually lasts about an hour. And timing of those closings usually takes place starting at 9 in the morning and going till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And those are the start times, and they usually last an hour. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Sometimes there's some of those 9:30, 10:30 time frames in there, but usually it's on the hour. So what do you need to bring with you to the title company? Because there are some important documents. One of them is either a cashier's check for the funds that you need to bring or a wire transfer to the title company. So that's one thing. You'll need a valid driver's license or some kind of valid official ID. Could be a passport. And if you don't have either one of those things, we can talk to the title company about what you can bring. And if you're buying a home, you're going to bring your spouse because even if they're not on the loan, they may need to sign some loan documents. So what happens at closing? We're going to sign a bunch of paperwork, so you need to make sure and have worked out your hand beforehand. You're going to receive the keys to your home. You'll get the garage door openers, any keypad codes if there are any, security codes if there are any. Sometimes people will tell you who their lawn guy is, so you can continue that service if you want to, or their security company, any kind of information like that that might be helpful to you. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. And in Oklahoma, immediate possession of the home takes place at that point. So congratulations, you're closed on your home, you've got your new keys. What do you do next? A couple of things to remember. I would change the locks on your home. Have your locks on your home changed. You never know who the seller gave the keys to, and you don't want them to show up at your house and open your door and figure out that the old owner's not there or worse. Another thing to do when the house is completely empty before you move your things in, it's a great time to have pest control come out and spray the house for bugs, because they can get inside the cabinets and in all of the corners where you might normally have your things. So it's a great time to get your pest control done. And also be sure and stop by the post office, and you can send out change of address cards, and you can notify them of your change of address to your new house. If you like what you learned, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sherri Sells Homes with no spaces, and my Facebook page, Sherri Methvin Sells Homes with spaces. All of that being said, this video was the final part of the series on how to buy a home. I hope all of the steps were helpful and make your home buying both manageable and rewarding. If you or someone you know is in the Oklahoma City metro, please be sure to contact me on your next home sale or purchase. I can't wait to hear from you.